Welcome, beloved. Welcome to Miraculii University, the Mystery School. Welcome to a moment of delicious expansion, divine insight into the true reality of being. I am Astarius Miraculii, and I love you so much. My subject today is, what is self-love? You know, there's so many different ideas about what it means to love oneself. And the reality of self-love is so much broader and has so many more layers than most people think. Many, when thinking of self-love, tend to think of it as something that you do for the exclusiveness of your individual selfhood. However, in truth, it takes the whole universe to make up who any of us really are. Because each of us are that holographic universe, the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. And so in great truth, all love and all acts of loving is the reality of self-love. Any being, anywhere, loving self is our own self, loving self by extension. God, in the infinite sense of God's being, is the first exemplifier of this self-love. God is in an infinite state of loving self as that macrocosm of all that is, and loving self as the multitudinous microcosmic expressions, meaning you and me and everyone and everything. And so God is in an infinite state of loving all of that. You see, in great truth, you really can't not love yourself, because self-love is a reality that is co-eternal with God. Self-love is an eternal resonance. Hate, for example, is a resonance of time. And in time, everything has an expiration date. Hate has an expiration date. It does not stand the test of eternity. It does not unfold down the corridors of forever. But love, being co-eternal with God, unfolds down the corridors of forever. Never was there a time when love was not, and never shall there be a time when love ceases to be. Love and self-love is co-eternal with God. So I'd like to share something with you now that I wrote as a selection from my book, Miraculii, Song of Ascension, available via my website, hard copy or digital downloads. However, the piece that I am sharing is called I Do Take Me. It's a tribute to the most forgotten loved one, which is self. And so I say, I love myself with all my heart. Eternal knowing God impart. No more hatred, no more pain, legacy of heaven mine to claim. Once, I really hated me. A self-induced catastrophe. Others began to hate me too. Hate's reflection became my due. When I look in any mirror, each reflection is my own. If I dislike that which I am, rejection by others will be shown. In self-acceptance let me grow, to hereby let all others know, I want them to accept me too, they only follow what I do. I ask myself to marry me, to thus fulfill my destiny. I promise always to be true, self-love and honor I am due. Sweet self, I'm sorry for the pain. Forgive and love me once again. I want me for eternity, a better lover than to be. Now every bond is sweeter too, for loving me is loving you. Within the temple of heaven's house, I do take me to be my spouse. Say that, beloved. Within the temple of heaven's house, I do take me to be my spouse. So let's break it down. First stanza says, I love myself with all my heart. Eternal knowing God impart. No more hatred, no more pain. Legacy of heaven, mine to claim. When you love yourself with all your heart, the eternal knowingness of your godhood becomes that which is imparted unto you. When you love yourself with all of your heart, there is the diminishing of the energies of hate, because the vibrations of love is a total different frequency, a totally different rate of vibration. Like the vibrations of heat and light can occupy the same space at the same time and never interfere with each other because they have different rates of vibration. And so it is that love and hate have different rates of vibration. You see, and hate cannot penetrate the vibratory field of love. See, so when you love yourself with all of your heart, there will be no more hatred and no more pain, and you will receive the legacy of heaven, which has always been yours to claim. Now, in the human experience, we've all experienced moments of self-hatred. And we've even experienced moments of hating the haters. If you hate the haters, then you become an accessory to hate, even though you might feel justified in your hating. But that hating only compounds the frequency of hate. Once I really hated me, a self-induced catastrophe. When we hate self, we become a self-induced catastrophe. And then others began to hate me too. Hate's reflection became my due. If you're hating on yourself, then you will attract all of the hate that exists within the whole universe that will then come at you and be a mirrored reflection of that which you've been doing unto yourself. That which you do unto the drop, you do unto the ocean. When I look in any mirror, each reflection is my own. If I dislike that which I am, rejection by others will be shown. You want to be loved by others, you must love yourself that way first. Then they have a proper example to follow in terms of how they love you. You can't lead where you won't go. The mirror won't reflect what you don't show. Show the world the way that you'd like to be loved by having a deep and abiding love for yourself. And having a deep and abiding love for yourself is not just loving you in the exclusiveness of your individual being, but it's also loving you in the all-inclusiveness of your universal being, because every being in the whole of life, in the whole of the universe, is also your own self by macrocosmic extension. To love the universe is to love your own self. You love yourself when you also love the whole universe. In self-acceptance, let me grow. To hereby let all others know I want them to accept me too. They only follow what I do. You got to show life and the beloveds how to treat you, how to love you, how to support you, how to empower you. I ask myself to marry me. When is the last time you proposed to you? I ask myself to marry me, to thus fulfill my destiny. I promise always to be true. Self-love and honor I am due. See, you are due self-love. You are due honor. It is your birthright. It is your inheritance. It is your trust fund. It was always meant for you. And so then we say, sweet self, I'm sorry for the pain. Forgive and love me once again. I want me for eternity, a better lover than to be. Now every bond is sweeter too, for loving me is loving you. Within the temple of heaven's house, I do take me to be my spouse. The expansion of the universe is at the mercy of you, deliciously and delightfully loving your own self. When you are in a deep, abiding relationship of love with you, the universe is more glorified in the resonance of love. The universe becomes more expanded in the juiciness of love by virtue of your individual expression of love, because you are the microcosm of love. But the microcosm is the full container of the macrocosm, as you are a holographic universe. A universe in minute expression. So you are a holographic expression of love. Any moment of love is meant to reach out and empower every other moment of love, and in turn be empowered by every other moment of love. Love is co-eternal with God. Never was there a time when it was not. And never will there be a time when it will cease to be. And there is no spot where love is not. And so love being co-eternal with God, self-love being co-eternal with God, it is an eternal happening. You can't not love yourself. The only thing that can happen is you allow your attention to be hijacked away from being focused upon your infinite self-love, and then you're in the illusion of not loving you, and that illusion can hurt like hell, while the greater truth is that there is this greater expanse of yourself in an infinite state of self-loving. And if only one being in all existence remembers to be in the resonance of self-love, they are that in honor of and in connection with every other being. You want to be at resonance with the oneness of the wholeness of self-love. Even when you individually seem to be denying your self-love, and you look around life and you see others in delicious love with themselves and expressing love for themselves, then that too is you by extension. You want to say, oh my God, look at how amazingly I'm loving myself through that part of me. And look at what a great regard I have for myself through these parts of me over here. You see, all love is your love. All self-love is your love by extension. So, you want to love the haters, because when you love the haters, something in you is believing in the redemption or the possibility of redemption of the haters, that they can come back to love, because hate's days are always numbered. It'll never stand the test of eternity. Hate is of time, where everything has an expiration date. Love is of eternity. If you believe in the possibility of the redemption of the hater to come into the resonance of love, then what you're doing is planting a significant deposit in the soul bank of the haters, and that deposit is going to accumulate interest until such time that the haters evolve to readiness and they make the withdrawal of that love that you deposited within their soul bank.